Do you remember the days when you'd boot up the PS3 after school and you and your mate would just play a game like Skylanders for hours and you'd enjoy the rest of your day? Because I have tons of memories like that from when I was younger. And honestly think that couch co-op games like that are kind of getting phased out. Because recently I went for a look on the PlayStation Store and the options for those sorts of games were just extremely limited. And I know what you're probably thinking. You got like the Lego games, you got COD, you got 2K, you got all these games. I'm thinking, those are very overused, like sort of games. Like, I'm not saying they're bad, but I just think it's kind of getting a bit old, or I just want a new experience. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for instance, I've been playing COD since the PS3 days, so I've played a lot of them. We'll just put it that way, and I've kind of just overplayed it. That's me personally, but yeah, I'm just looking for something new. As for, the Lego games, they're mostly all older games. I can't really name a whole heap of recent ones that have came out, and chances are I've already played it anyway, because like I said, most of them are older games. And the 2K ones, me personally, I feel that once you played a few of them, you played them all. Like, the graphics get newer, sure, they add new players, but the difference in gameplay doesn't like change dramatically each year. So, you know, I think you could boot up a copy of NBA 2K20 from, ages ago, and it would still feel pretty good to play compared to the one that came out this year. So you can kind of understand what I'm getting at there. And aside from those, you got like It Takes Two, A Way Out, and Split Fiction, and those are good games. Well, that's what I've heard anyway. But it's a very limited selection to pick from. Like, I think It Takes Two. Currently looking for a more realistic game, so doesn't really fit what I'm looking for. A Way Out, that sort of is in selection, I guess. And but I do think it'd be kind of short. Like, you wouldn't play it for that long, and you just finish the story super quickly. And what was the other one? Split Fiction. Honestly, I just don't think I'd mess with that personally. Have you ever just looked at a game and you just thought, yeah, I don't mess with that? Because that's me when I looked at Split Fiction. Again, not saying it was a bad game, I just don't think that I'd mess with it. So obviously I'm not going to waste the money if I don't think I'd enjoy playing it. Um, but yeah, and that actually leads me into my next point is uh, PS4 controllers aren't really compatible with the newer games that are coming out. Because recently I was looking at playing Borderlands 4, alright, and I was trying to, like, I have a PS5 controller, it's right here, but to play two player with it, you need a second PS5 controller, because the PS4 one doesn't work apparently with PS5 games, which I think is a bit stupid, because if you look at them right here, they look the same, sort of. They have the same buttons, they have the touch pads, they have, same triggers, whatever. And I just don't see why a PS4 controller couldn't handle you playing a PS5 game. Now, I'm sure one of you who are smarter in this area would be able to sort of drop a comment or something telling me why it's not possible, I guess. But to me, it just seems like it's sort of a cash grab or a way to force you into playing PS4 games, and I think that's a bit silly. Like, I was looking at the Lego Batman, the newest one that came out, and finding out that you can't really play it two player because, unless I want to go fork up another $80 for another PS5 controller, which I don't really want to do because I don't play couch cop all the time, is just a bit, you can kind of see what I'm saying. Anyway, but then, um, you know, you go back to the PS3 days, and I feel like nearly every single game that was getting released back then was a local couch co-op. Like, as I said, you got Army of Two, you've got Skylanders. I think the Army of Two had a sequel to it. You had a bunch of Borderlands games. You just had a whole range of games to select from. And nowadays it's pretty limited. So I think it's getting phased out. Like, nowadays, if you want to play two player, it's either play online or you don't play at all, basically, and you just have to play by yourself on a story game or something. And I think that's a bit, I don't know, a bit of a problem for people who are either like me and just every now and then want to play a local couch co-op game and don't want to bother messing around online or anything like that, or other people just simply don't have the luxury of having internet all the time. So you're really sort of excluding a large portion of people who want to enjoy sharing like games with others, and they can't because the couch co-op thing is sort of getting phased out. And yeah, it's just like sort of excluding a lot of people. Like even like I think for the PlayStation 4, this may be one of the few couch co-op games that I do own, and even then, the other ones are mostly PS3 games anyway. Like you got Resident Evil 5 and 6 and stuff. Actually, 6 is multiplayer. I don't know, but 5, whatever. 5 is, and those were back around the PS3 days. Like they first released on the PS3. So if you're like me and you owned a PS3, chances are you've probably already played Resident Evil 5. So unless you really, really love Resident Evil 5 and you want to replay it a lot, you probably are looking for a new experience. So my issue is that I think that these are games that's kind of getting phased out, and it's just going to get to the point where you either play online or not at all, especially since PlayStation's planning on going all digital. And I made a video on that. Yeah, like if everything goes all digital, then all of a sudden you have to download all your games online. You have to play online. You have to sign up for their little subscription or whatever, and it's really just forcing you to fork up more money than you actually want to, all because you have to download it online at PlayStation's price because they choose the prices on their own store, obviously, and then you have to pay for the subscription just to even hop online, and it's not everyone's going to want to do that, so it's just a bit of an annoyance. But anyway, that's just my take on it, because I think that if we keep releasing games without the couch co-op setting or whatever, it's just going to sort of force a lot of people into the older consoles again, and you might find that the PS3 and Xbox 360 all of a sudden become super popular again or something. And that's just my take on the situation. Anyway, if you've watched this far, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment, and that's about it for this video.